Okay, I am waiting to see if my audio is okay. It is. Right, let's quit Teams because I don't want to cause a leak. Right. Okay, we're here. Alright, there wasn't a countdown. I'm sorry. There was a few streaming issues. Um, so, it's a community stream. It's a Monday. We're going to do some fun in Maya. It's a modeling program. So I'm gonna hopefully get a few people in. Hello, it's nice to see you. I can actually chat. Hello everyone. I'm gonna put that in the chat. Ahoy, ahoy. Yes, apologies. I gave all of the moderators a heart attack because something else was playing when it shouldn't have been. Sorry, that was my bad. We're here. So before we get started, how is the audio? How's everything sounding? I think it's okay. I just want to check. I really want to get this right. It's good to see a few people in the chat. This is going to be a very community focused stream. So if you're here and you've got a few minutes to spare, I want to see your messages in the chat. I want to say hello. Okay, this isn't going to be gameplay. This is just going to be, let's chat, let's discuss, let's have some fun. Audio's fine. We hear you. That's lovely. All good. Moggy has been introduced to modeling. Well, brilliant. You can judge me all you like. It's a judge-free zone, but it's also a judge-welcome zone, I suppose. Might be a little quiet. I can turn myself up a little bit. That should be a touch better. Audio's fine on YouTube. Okay, brilliant. So, what's the purpose of today's stream? Well, for those of you tuning in, I'm going to be doing some modeling. So my personal background is I've done games art before, and I thought, hey, it might be fun to show all of you a little bit of insight into like the stage before being a junior environment artist or a trained vehicle artist. It would be. So by no means am I professional in what I'm going to be showing. So yeah, anything that I make here wouldn't be game ready if it was. And it's certainly not going to be, because it's going to be about an hour stream or so, so don't expect anything good. But we're going to be making and going through the process of creating a locomotive, and that locomotive is the SD40 from Cajon Pass. Any one reason is simply because it's a cool locomotive. It looks fun. When I was playing the route, I was like, hey, that looks like a pretty cool train. Will there be a pre-order on the Scottish route? I'm not sure. But as of right now, I don't want to jump into Teams in case I risk finding something out. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Nigel, as well. Yes, can you please add Southwestern Railway? I don't believe there's plans to do that soon. Update the passengers with headphones, reading laptops, or drinking coffee. I'm not sure if that's a priority at the moment, but it would be cool. It would be cool because I have headphones and I usually listen. I watch stuff on my phone, usually, not a laptop. But yes. Can you turn yourself up more? Yes, I can. That's probably as far as I can turn myself up, but I can certainly bring the mic a little closer. How does that sound? Is that a little better? Hopefully it's a little bit easier there. Struggling to hear you, yeah. Well, I hope that's helped. Because I can't really bring my mic much closer. Yeah, it's good. Brilliant. So we're going to be making the SD40 locomotive. So I'm going to hope Google isn't going to be a pain today, and we're going to search. We're going to search some more things. SD40 locomotive. So I want to start the process off from the very beginning. So we're going to grab our PureRef here. It's just a reference board, and we're going to grab some images. I don't know if any of you have any preferences of the train at hand or the locomotive. But I'm going to grab a few images of probably. I'm going to hopefully get real life ones, but I might be this. I think this is actually a Train Sim World one that I've grabbed. The first one. Is it easy to model? Well, we're about to find out. You'd be surprised. When I first started doing modeling, it quickly became difficult. That's all I'll say. It's not an easy thing to pick up, but once you kind of get into the flow of it, you kind of change your brain how it works with modeling, and it's fun. But easy it depends what you're doing. Okay, SD4. That's a good image. At the moment, I'm building a bit of a reference board, so I want to grab tons of different images I can get of different from different angles and see if I can kind of get an idea for what this should look like. Now, is my model going to look anything like the final product? Probably not. But we're here to have fun. We're here to enjoy it, and I'll show you something a little bit different than you might you might not usually see. So I'll probably spend a few minutes grabbing references, nothing more. But just so I get a sense of of this locomotive, what it should look like. It's definitely not going to have all the detail that we would hope it should. In fact, I've just grabbed that image twice. Yeah, we want to get the main forms of it in. There must be I want a side-on shot. But how's everyone doing today? Today has been known as professional train model. No, I am not, David. Today is known as Blue Monday. So the reason why I'm doing this today is because it's actually one of the most depressing days of the year, apparently, and I want to make sure that everyone's watching, and everyone in the community, that there's time for us to just not dive into about some of the issues in the game or some of the new content. This isn't a marketing ploy. This is just a space to just chat. We should just do something fun, and I think we can do that. So let's model it blue. Well, thankfully, I think all my references are blue. That's a really good point, Canadian Maps. It's a Blue Monday blue train. I know there's a bit of yellow, but it's majoritarily blue. I suppose it's a bit of a green. Dovetail blue, a happy blue. But yes, it's Blue Monday. If you do need any support, I know Safe in Our World, it's someone I'm personally an ambassador for, and Dovetail Games, we're actually an ambassador with them as well. They have tons of different support on their website if you are feeling symptoms of depression or if you want any support of any kind. So that's Safe in Our World if you want to Google them, but I'll leave you to do it. This stream is about finding more references, so we're gonna dive into a couple more. That's a good side shot. Yeah, I wonder if has anyone else in the chat, have you taken photos of possibly this locomotive or anything similar? Let's see here. This is a good side on. I know it's a yellow. It kind of betrays the Blue Monday that we were going for, but it's a good one for the side. It's the same. I think it's the same locomotive, so it's a good side sizer on that. Even this little model here, it may not be a real image, but it will help. Okay. And I think that might be okay for now. I would possibly like, what am I missing? I've got the side, I've got the front. I could do with the top. To be honest, I could do with underneath, but I don't know if I'm really going to get a good underneath shot. I don't know if anyone's gone under the train with a camera. Now they're going to skip 5 and jump straight to 5. Is Train Sim World 3 adding Northern Ireland Railways anytime soon? I'm not sure. I don't believe so, but I don't want to be the confirmation on that, but I don't believe so. Let's see, have we got a top-down shot? Because essentially, when it comes to 3D modeling, the less you have to guess, the better. And that's one of the first tips I'm going to give on this stream. If you're interested in doing 3D modeling yourself, okay, I'm gonna give it a go. I'm gonna start there, and if we need more reference, we can always go get some more. So, 3D modeling, is it easy? Let's find out. Right. I'm using a program called Maya. So here it is. This is Maya. Now this program is very professional. It's the same one that's used in many games. I don't know if I don't believe Dovetail used it. I think they might use a program called 3ds Max. I'm not sure. But this one is used by many games industries across the world. And here it is. We've got nothing on our canvas, and suddenly we have a cube. Ta-da! Right. If we just give this a bit of a push. That's pretty much there, like some of our references, it's not far off that. Obviously I'm having a bit of a joke. That's the best looking SD40 already. Oh, there you go. Done. The stream, oh no, it's gone soft. Stream's finished. What's my opinion on Romanian trains? If I'm honest, Canadian Maps, very neutral. I don't know enough about Romanian trains differing from, say, British Rail or German or US trains. If you know any good Romanian trains for me to quickly Google search, I don't mind giving it a quick look, but I'd probably say these American trains are some of the coolest ones I've seen. Licensing. I don't believe licensing is going to be too much of an issue. I'm not going to slap a logo on it. All of this is unofficial too. Nice class 315. Yeah, it's just a rectangle. Right, let's get into the detail. So, we know a rectangle's not a bad start. So why isn't a rectangle enough? Well, because our locomotive has a bit more to it than that. I think I'm going to start with this side-on shot. And, well, one thing I want to do is actually make it to scale. So I'm going to come up to this fancy little box on the side. How big is this locomotive? I'm going to take some estimates here, but size of SD40. So knowing the dimensions of what you're trying to model is also very important. It says the length is about 21 meters. So we're going to start with that. We're going to start with a, is it X21? No, that's width. I'm guessing it would be Z21. So we want to go 2100 because we're in centimeters. That's probably a little too big. Let's maybe just start it at that in that kind of scale. 21, and then width is 3 meters over 3 meters. Is it 3 by 5? That seems possibly quite short. 300? No, I want just 30. So supposedly that's the right dimensions, but that doesn't look right. And I think from a quick Google search, you realize that maybe not everything you read online is reliable, huh? So we're gonna go close enough. If any of you want to know how long it would take for, say, someone to model this, certainly a lot longer than an hour is what I'll say. My rough estimate is if you didn't have to do any texture work, if you're just making the base model, maybe a good 5 to 10 hours, and that's like possibly skipping a lot of the detail. So I'm gonna go in here with an estimate and actually start squishing this and playing around with my own dimensions here. So we have this front cab, we have a bit of a nose on it. I'm gonna start with this and we're gonna see why that isn't right very soon. Now this isn't a 3D modeling, like I'm going to tell you how everything works, so I'm just going to kind of be getting along in the background here and checking the chat out. You said you'd be giving DLC keys. Are any of them for PS4? Yes, so that's another thing. I'm glad you mentioned that, DGuz. I hope I read that right. I've actually set up a giveaway for today, so let me quickly open that on the side. Main reason is, it's Blue Monday, everything feels bad until suddenly someone gives you free stuff. So Blue Monday, Train Sim World 3 giveaway. Haha, here it is. Wait, don't check out the secret parts on that. I'm gonna throw the link in the Twitch chat. I suppose, can I get a moderator? Is any of the moderators, you're all on YouTube based? I'm gonna share this on YouTube as well. I've only got the Twitch open just for the chat, but I'll throw it in the Twitch chat as well. There we go. So if you want to enter the giveaway, there will be, I think it's currently set up to 1 winner, but I will probably draw it twice. The links are in Twitch and YouTube. If any moderators can share that out further, that would be really appreciated. You just need to sign up with your email, Facebook, Google, or Twitter. This thing's in a way. You should get an entry, and at the end of the stream, probably when I've come offline, I will draw it, and then I'll get in contact with you. Any DLC you want, really. Just 1 or 2. There'll be 1 or 2 winners for a DLC key of your choice. Doesn't matter what platform, we can discuss that and I can go get it requested for you. Because everything feels bad today, but suddenly maybe not so bad for a couple people. So yeah, join that giveaway, and I'll share that a couple times during our stream today. Thank you for reminding me, because I didn't get around to that. Right, back to the locomotive in question. Is there an age limit? No, there shouldn't be. No. I mean, I think the site might have 13 on by default, but no, there isn't. It's just going to be a digital key. Okay, so we got a really bad looking train here. I'm going to turn the lines on to make it to make you be able to see it a little easier. That's not so great. So let's start making this a bit better. So you see this nose of the train? It's kind of like a diamond shape on a box. That's easy. We just bring our little knife tool here and slap that in, and grab this edge here and pull that forward. If you're wondering how far should I pull it forward, it's all guesswork. But I mean, that's not bad. That looks like the right shape. You know, the best thing about this locomotive is actually really quite boxy. Okay, so we've got some work to do on the locomotive body itself here. Now, clearly, this isn't enough. So let's widen this up a little bit. Let's push this out, and we're gonna pull this whole system up because I actually want it in line with. Oh no, my object symmetry is off. It's okay, it's just a technical term. Let's push that out a bit, and I'm gonna give a bit of a bevel to these 2 edges here. That's a bit too much. I hope you can kind of see where I'm going with this. You're honestly one of the best people. Well, thank you very much. What is this going to be? CSX, BNSF, Union Pacific? Well, on the image it's got a CSX, but I think most of my reference images, there is a Union Pacific though, one there, so I'll go with this one, the CSX one, because that's the one that's just in front of me. Hey Alex, hey the British. Hey, congrats on recently passing 10,000 subscribers. I know I've DM'd you about that, but not to say it out loud. Congrats! Woo! Well done. No, you're really great for working with us a lot, and well, for anyone, if you want to see some more Train Sim World content that's probably a little bit better than this, feel free to go check out their channel. Right, one thing you'll notice with 3D modeling is now that I've made funny cuts on this, it wants to do less for me. And if there is anyone that does dabble with a bit of 3D modeling, I hope you know that it's the most painful thing in the world. There's so many intricate details that you have to play a part of. Like, you can't make a side with more than 4 points on it, and if you do, it gets unhappy, and if it's unhappy, it's not a good thing. So I'm just gonna slap these over here for now. As a rough guide though, don't this isn't game ready. If it was game ready, there would be a lot of better optimizations and such. If there's modders in this on the stream as well, just ignore most of what I'm doing. This is a fun stream. We're here for some pure entertainment value, and just to and mostly just to kind of get the community excited rather than depressed on Blue Monday. So I've just done a few cuts in this shape. Why have I done that? Because I want to pull this face out. Haha. Oh, but now there's a problem. When I want to pull this does that, and I don't want it to do that. So how do I get around this? Well, I'm going to extrude this shape instead and pull it out. Just like a Jenga piece, like you're kind of pushing a Jenga piece. Alex should release his own locomotive. I'd definitely buy it. Well, now that would be fun, wouldn't it? There's no way we could figure that out with licensing or whatever. But that wouldn't that make like a great charity bundle? It would be an absolutely terribly modeled locomotive. I could spend some time on it, but anyway, we've made it to a shape that we can kind of recognize. Now, if you're wondering what these lines are, they're just for they're guidance really. So if we tick them off, it's quite badly shaded. It's quite like you notice there's very harsh lighting, and that might not make out too well on a stream. But you can kind of make out that that's getting to where we want it to. Let's actually make this a darker color. I'm gonna slap a dark blue on it. I've got to scroll through all of the changes. Now that's not quite the right blue, but it's kind of close. How do we get that to where we want it to be? Probably a bit more gray. That doesn't look too bad. Okay, we'll go with that. It's a little closer. Hi Blue. How long is the stream going to be? I'm probably going to stream to about 8 p.m. and that's oh god, time zones. UTC. So another 40 minutes or so. And we're going to see how much we can do. I'm not rushing. I'm not making this a speed run. I'm just I'm enjoying the stream with you all. Now, do you notice this little curve here? I know most of you do, because you notice when we get our when we get the details certainly a little bit off in game. You like to make sure we know. Let's come in there and make that curve. Now, is this going to do what I want it to do? It should do. Yes. There we go. Okay, and that's not bad. Now I want to make everything smooth at the end. So there's a button I can press on my keyboard here that basically smooths everything. Now if I push it now, that looks horrible, doesn't it? It looks like I've made a bit of a weird looking pigeon. I suppose it's a bit blue, but we don't want it to do that. But that's because of a fancy thing known as edge loops. And if I stick that line in there, suddenly it looks not so squished. And I'm going to stick another one in the end. And there we go. And the reason I want to do this is because if I put enough of them in, it means when I smooth my model, we should get a bit better lighting, and that should mean that it's a bit nicer to look at, and a bit less, well, terrible to look at, really. Let's see. I want to make this a 4, I think. How does that look? No. Okay. Right, so we can focus on making the shading look a bit better later on. For now, let's cut those out and let's take a look at it. So we've got this main body piece. Now I want to add these little lights, but maybe first I should focus on getting the nose done and getting this rail done. This is quite a complex shape we're coming up to the front here, so let's start adding that in. So we've got body piece here. Let's possibly just take out this extra line just so I don't confuse myself. How's everyone doing in chat or Woodstock? I'm not keeping up. The Blob, the Bloob, Anades one. I do like that. I don't know how is that like an umflaff for an O, like the Blob. That's quite nice. Let's grab all these vertices. Again, if there's any actual 3D people that dabble with 3D models in here, you're probably screaming at the topology. That's another word. It means mesh of a train. Don't worry about it. It's all for fun. It's all for Blue Monday, and we're just having fun. We're just enjoying ourselves here. So we want to make these little steps. That's where we're going next. And now I noticed actually just before we get to them, there's a cut there that I want to make sure I get in. Actually, why haven't I put on symmetry yet? That's a good question. We're gonna delete half the train. Oh no. Did I do that correctly? I think I got an extra edge that I wanted to. If we add on symmetry, it will mean we have to do half the work for double the pay. Okay, that looks good. We delete that, and the reason I'm deleting it is so that I can mirror it and making sure that everything is as it should be. One thing you'll find when you do 3D modeling, if you ever get around to it a little bit, and you can 3D model for free if you want to download a program called Blender, but I personally not a big fan of using Blender. I like Maya. You'll notice that you can't go more than 30 minutes without something very terrible happening without you knowing. It will be like a secret thing that goes wrong, but it will go wrong. And it's important to make sure that you are prepared because it will happen. Right, have we got the right symmetry on? We do, perfect. So that means if I pull this little thing here, it happens on the other side. Fantastic Twilight stream, zone stream on. Which Loco wagon or multiple unit is this, if I'm allowed to ask? Oh, you are allowed to ask. Let me just, let me stick that up in the corner of our, I was going to stick it up in the corner of our screen, but I just realized as I move around, I'm going to throw it up there anyway. So it's the SD40-2. That's the locomotive we're going for, and it's the CSX one we're referencing. That's just going to be in the background there, so if you're wondering, that's the locomotive. I'll possibly stick up some more stuff. Why are you adding more UK trains less than USA trains? Well, I've personally loved the US trains we've been doing, and there could be more soon. That's all I'll say. But we've already sent out a couple teasers of that. So let's get back to making this this staircase. So now I only need to do one side, which is what I wanted to do. So we've got the nose here. We probably want to extend this out a bit more on the bottom edge. Let's make sure we flatten that. Where's our tool gone? And this edge kind of extends. I need a side-on view. This is why reference photos are important, because I don't know how far this comes out. I see. See, this is what I mean. It's really difficult to make sure you're doing the right thing. So this is what I'm trying to model now. It's this essentially this walkway around the front. So let's pull out our front now. I think our normals have flipped on this. Okay, ignore these darker faces because they're going to be annoying, I think. We'll come back to recoloring them in a minute. We just want to get the shape in. And I'm also going to bridge these little things. Nice. Very good. Okay. And then let's pull out... Oh, it's the faces have managed to fix themselves. See, that's the joy of 3D model. Oh, we don't want to do that. We are doing the very thing we were told not to, and that's to make cursed geometry. You want to avoid that as much as you can. Let's pull you forward. We're making more of that. I don't know if I can... oh no, it's gone away. I don't know why. Sometimes it appears, sometimes it goes away, but thankfully it's gone. Right, let's pull this forward. I think that's out a little bit further. Okay. Now that's not looking too bad. I hope you can kind of see where I'm going with this model. Does anyone have any questions? Is this program free for everyone? This program, no. You can get a student license if you're a university student, but if not, you have to pay a lot of money for this. I've got it because I was a previously a student. I've still got my license, and yeah, a program that you can check out if you want to do some 3D modeling for free is Blender. I'm not a Blender fanboy, but it's a good program to use. It's free, and it's just as good, really. Will I make the chassis too, or just the body? I'm gonna try and get everything you see in these images in. I'm gonna try and get like all these rails, this hanging bar, this fun stuff. That's why I'm trying to hopefully push through this easy bit first, because making rails and making bars is a little bit more in depth. So I want to give myself time to do it. Why haven't we made this nose yellow yet? I don't know. Let's slap on a yellow. Does that look right? It's possibly a little too yellowy. That's a good yellow. I want a little bit more orange. That's a good yellow. There we go. Okay, that's looking better. We need a bevel on this edge, just slightly. Everything's better with a bevel. Is that too much? No, I think that's right. And then we want a cut. Let's cut this. Possibly, let's go from this bottom corner. I want to isolate this object. Grab this corner, put a little dot there, and put one at the 40% mark. And let's color this in. Where was our blue? Did we name it? Did we? We didn't name it, but it's Lambert 2. Everyone remember that blue is Lambert 2. It ended so the proper stream can start. Yeah, sorry, there was a little preview of some random gameplay before. That was simply just our rolling old footage that was on Steam, and I accidentally put that on instead of this. What happened to the other stream? Yeah, so that's that was it. That was old footage that was on Steam, and when I finish with my stream, it might come back on. What's your favorite European train? I'm gonna go with the ICE3. That is a very cool train. Yeah, I've been playing a lot of Castle with that. Right, we got a little circle here. I'm just gonna add that in because that to me is quite a nice detail. Now I wanna make sure I snap to the grid here. Let's pull this forward, pull it in. Okay. And let's make it a little bit bigger than that. And it's still yellow, but it's got a little bit of darkness in that ridge. So I'm gonna try and get that out. Oh, that's fine. Pull that out. Again, we're not going for perfect here. We're just going for something that looks and resembles the final product. Okay, we'll get you going dark, and then we'll do that. We're just painting it yellow. Kind of like livery designer, really. Just a lot more in depth. Right, we don't want to do that. We want to do this. Okay, we've got ourselves like a nice little thing on the side. I'm not really sure what that is, but it goes there. Probably about there. Maybe a little more. Maybe a little more out. I find sometimes you can miss you can get the final product not looking so right just because you miss those small details. It's kind of like a little mole. I've got a little mole there as well. Okay, hello Alex. Hello Jesse. They probably don't take licenses from America. I wouldn't buy Russian roots. What is the program called you're running? I'm using Maya. Autodesk Maya. The program I'm using is Maya, which is costly. Yes, yeah. Thank you, mods. Right, I want to get this rail in because I think the rail is so distinctive that it needs to come in. So let's make sure we've got the front of the train looking good, and we've got to get these staircases in at some point as well. So let's think. Have we got everything we need to move forward? I'm probably just going to pull this one back. And then I'm going to add a couple extra little notches in here, and just pull this out one. So that to me looks fine, and we can get a nice little ladder in there. And what are we missing here? I am trying to see this one's got a bit of a valve, but this is also a toy train. This is also a train from in-game, so I should probably be taking more real life reference, but I suppose it's not too important. I'm sort of just making the train that we've got in-game, really. What about this one? How does that stair look? So you've got a yellow box with a little yellow thing that comes out a bit more this way. I should possibly not do it this way. Yeah, there's a lot of ways of modeling. I think if you're thinking of 3D modeling, which Some of you may now never want to after the stream, but if you were thinking about it, there's as many, you can do things in whatever way you want. There's no right and wrong. There is only a end result. So I suppose, oh, I can't do that with symmetry on. There's no wrong way of doing something, but at the end of the day, there is an easier way usually. And it was easier for me to turn off symmetry in that moment and just do that manually than it was to do anything else. So now we've got a nice staircase. I want to paint this yellow. Let's paint it yellow. So let's turn symmetry back on. Let's get painting, but I need to do a little cut first. Probably from here to there to about there. That'll do. Oh, it wants me to do a little further. Okay, we'll go there. Let's paint. Let's leave that blue. All of this is yellow. All of this. I'm just dragging to paint, kind of just like with a paintbrush at this point. Paint all that yellow. Paint you yellow. And I think even this front floor on this locomotive, it might be this kind of black metal. So I'm gonna just leave that, and we're just gonna set this to yellow. Right, we need to rename our colors because we're already getting confused. So Lambert 3, you are yellow. Lambert 4, you are black. And Lambert 1, yellow, good, and you are blue. In reality, when you're modeling, you wouldn't actually change you wouldn't just assign materials like I'm doing for fun. This is more just for kind of pre-visualization, really. But that's a technical thing that gets a bit messy. We'll just paint things yellow for now. No idea. We find out when you do. Hey Mod, I got a question. Licensing exists. Post your suggestions in the forum. Yeah. Well, I hope. Just a reminder. I hope everyone is doing okay. If we want to have any discussion in the chat, that's certainly fine. What is everyone up to this week? Is there anything that people want to talk about surrounding the game that isn't necessarily about content that's upcoming, about content that we that you have an issue with? Is there something you just want to talk about the game that you share, that you found? I know there's a bunch of cats on the Birmingham City line, which is, I've been seeing the thread that's been sharing loads of images of them, and I find that fun to look at. What is everyone's favorite part of the game? Sorry, what was it? Canadian maps. Will we be allowed to ask for the unreleased routes if we win the key? Sorry, it will just be stuff that's already released. If you win, yeah, there isn't many T's and C's on this giveaway. So again, if you want to join the giveaway, I'll put another link in the chat. Can I ask a moderator to put that on YouTube, because I don't have that. Actually, I should probably just leave that open on the side. Don't worry, I'll throw it in YouTube as well. Yeah, if you want to win a key, just join a giveaway. And it will only be for content that's currently released, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to get a key that isn't early access, and we can't just give them out to the public. Right, we're missing our step. How's he going to make that possibly 1 meter tall jump without his step? His or her step, or their step. Let's get that in. I was assuming. So you see that that's the in-game one. I want the real life reference. There we go. It's actually a grey metal step, so we're already on the right colour. Okay, there we go. Lovely. Oh, we've only got one. Let's push that back and let's push over here. Okay, we have the front of the locomotive, but it's no window. They've got a step, but there's no wheels. So there's a few things missing, but we're getting there. There's a few core crucial things missing, but we're getting there slowly. Let's give the locomotive wheels. I think it would be embarrassing to finish without wheels. I was hoping to just add a cylinder in, but it's a lot more than that, isn't it? How does this look? Okay, let's try and make the shape. Let's see if we can make the shape quite quickly. So we're gonna, what's the best way about doing this? Probably start with a cube. You can never go wrong with a cube. And we're just gonna move away from the main model for a moment here. You can't see the pure F. Oh wow, this whole time you can't see the pure F. Well, that's pretty rough. I would have to change sheen to do that. Okay, imagine on the screen. Actually, it's probably better you can't, because it's just dragging up my screen. On my screen currently, there are a bunch of images of trains. So yeah, that's where I'm getting these images from. If you Google SD40-2, those are the images. Okay. I appreciate that, Jesse, though, because I didn't realize that. But of course, that would make sense. Now we're gonna try and make this funky curvy shape. So well, now I don't need to worry about covering up my screen. This is quite a difficult shape to make. How would I want to do this? Let's grab these faces and let's make a start. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're not going for perfect. We're just going for good enough on this. It's kind of like a W almost. So let's maybe make half of the W. I mean that's not bad actually. If I delete this and then bridge you, Arctic roll, maybe. Let's put that there. That's not quite the shape we want. We need to keep extruding. Now this will hopefully look a lot better when I smooth in a moment. Now is that going to make the shape I want it to? Probably not. If I do that and then we mirror it, yes, that can work. See, a lot of modeling is just kind of brainstorming your way through a problem. Bounding box. Okay, that's not bad. If you know what I'm aiming for. Oh, it would be really nice to show the PureF. Let's see if I can't stream the PureF. It's because I think I've got a window capture. Yeah, I won't be able to stream the PureF unless I quickly switch it to the PureF. Well, that's a crazy idea. Will it work? It's just got a lot of my mouse on. Okay, let's not do that. That's a very scary thing to do live. Okay, we're back. Let's keep going. So we want this funky little shape, but you aren't merged. That's not good. Now that's what we want. We want it smoother than that, and we want it much thinner. Let's try and reset the pivots. Okay. I hope for you train enthusiasts, you can already see where this is going. But if you can't, no worries, because here comes the first wheel. Squish it in. And now that sits. Now we've got a little bit of work to make on this wheel. So obviously, because it runs on the track, we want it to have thicker edges to it. Now there must be technical terms for this as well. I don't want symmetry. Okay, we're gonna extend those out a little bit, and if we smooth that, now that's not bad. Flange, at least it's called a flange. Flange. Okay, well we got 2 flanges on the wheel. Or 1 flange. Are you making this for Train Sim World 3? No. This is not for Train Sim World 3. This I am not a professional artist. It's just for fun. It's a bit of a Blue Monday fun stream. I probably could have specified that more in the chat. So I think these wheels. I need a better side-on shot of this wheel. How does this attach? It goes. This sits. Oh, this also extends a bit further down. So I think this comes down like this. Okay, let's do that on both sides as well. Again, this doesn't have to be very accurate. So this wheel is going to sit in this little crevice here. Scale we will find out later to see if it's accurate or not. For now, this is the best reference we've got. Now this seems to have quite a wide scope to it, and we've got to drill some holes in this now. No, I didn't realize I was gonna have to drill some holes. Let's put some lines in this. How does that look? Not quite what we want. Let's put a couple here, a couple of little lines there, and a couple little lines there. Now, why are you acting different to this one? We're doing some of that funky 3D-ness that we don't like. We're gonna have to drop that part and then mirror this one, because it wasn't acting the way we wanted it to. Merge border. That's exactly what we want. There we go. That's a bit better. It's not meant to be quite as wavy as that, but it's a little touch better. If you want, Alex, I can give you a 1 hour creation modded into. I can get your 1 hour creation modded into Train Sim World once you're done. with the text included. Now that would be incredible, actually. Fblock L. Do you have a Discord? If you do, I would love to see that as a screenshot at the end. But only if you're able and willing to want to help to make that a thing. That would be very funny to see, I think. Okay, so we've got we're working on the wheel, this kind of wheel chain block at the moment, and it's very difficult, I must say. I'm gonna throw a bevel on this edge, I think, because I'm not liking how it's looking. Let's just hit that. That's a little better. Maybe even a slightly tighter bevel, like a 0.3. Okay, that's a more believable shape. And that's all it is, really, just playing with shapes and seeing how what comes of it. I think the wheels should be a lot thinner. I think they should also be a lot smaller as well. I think I've possibly got them a touch too large. That looks correct to me. So let's just make sure they're all the same shape. Yes, I pinged you on Trains of Community. Fantastic. I will respond to that after the stream. Twitch chat is so chill compared to YouTube. Well, I mean, Twitch chat is my favorite personally. But I'm not picking sides, no worries. Okay, so instead of cutting a hole through this object, it's really tough to do that. This is one of those 3D. This is one of those things in 3D modeling. It's just the idea of me cutting a hole in this object is very. It's like I will be doing that for the next 10 minutes. And so because this is supposed to be more of a quick, let's model a train, have some fun stream, I will avoid cutting these little holes in. So you have to imagine a couple little holes, and I think that's fine. I think that's fine. Alright, we just made that a little bit spikier there. Right. So we got the wheel, we got the thing. The bracket that holds them. We need... Now, the problem is I'm not so technical on the actual engineering that goes behind a train. I think I'm going to just make sure we get the fundamental kind of shape in. So we're going to start with something that looks like... a cylinder that sits... Well, it's sort of... Okay, we're gonna have to build this out. This is very tricky. It's very complex part of the model we're on. So we need a cube. Thankfully, most of what I'm modeling actually is meant to be grey or kind of a darker steel color. We need a flat cube. It's a bit thin, probably not that big. Alex, what's your favorite candy? Wow, that is such a big question. I have such a sweet tooth, so candy. I'm gonna go with raspberry bonbons. You know those ones you can always pick up in the cinema with the pick and mix? They are amazing. When you get them at a good like old sweet shop, they're just incredible. What about yourself, Canadian Maps? We'd love to see a low poly of the 373. Well, we can certainly do some more modeling streams. Maybe a 373 would have been easier. Like what I'm modeling right now is, it looks extremely complex. So let's pop open a cylinder as well. We're gonna. I suppose the only reason I modeled this is because I really liked the US Locos. I think they're really cool. Let's push this forward. So we've got a cylinder on top of a rectangle on top of a cylinder with a hole in it. So let's make that shape now. Let's grab these faces, pull them in, push them back, and give that smooth. And then we're going to push that in a little bit, simply just to save time. So now that's not looking too horrible. And there are two of those, so I'm just going to group them into one. Now I can't smooth if they're all grouped, so that's a problem. Let's just, I can't select all the edges. Let's just throw a few bevels on this. That should hopefully do it. That's pretty much most of the way there. And let's just bevel this edge as well. There we go. Okay, good enough. We're gonna just we're gonna make a second one of those over here. Now the problem with these wheels is that they're just, there's so much going on. I think there was a third one on this one, but the problem is it has another mechanism on top of it, and I'm not gonna pretend like I know the inner workings of this system, but for the vehicle artists at Dovetail, if any of them happen to see this stream, just know that you're doing an amazing job, and I am struggling with the very same. Now we have a big tube coming up that sits on top of this bracket, so I think we have made this a bit too thick, and I'm gonna squeeze that a little bit like that. We've got a tube here, and trust me, we can duplicate this across the model, so it's not too bad. What is the main thing you model outside of Dovetail Games? Thank you for asking at the British stage. So I haven't modeled stuff in a little while. I've been trying to take a bit of a break and learn some more programming. But before that, I used to model a lot of environments. So I've made like an abandoned church, kind of like with foliage stuff in it, like a lot of trees, a lot of broken down buildings. I like doing small dioramas, but I can't say I've finished anything in a short while since I finished university. Okay, we're gonna stick this here, and it's not great. Okay, it was never gonna be, oh my gosh, he's secretly amazing. It was never gonna be that. I think, but I think that's not the worst. I think let's get these tubes in. So we have a couple tubes that go across. Let's snap them this way. Let's make them a bit thinner and a lot longer. So we have a couple tubes. Squidge them out, and I'm struggling to see where they run from, but I believe they run kind of like along this whole length. So let's just make sure they make the distance, and then they've got a few brackets that support them in. So we've got a bigger cube here. I'm gonna delete this SD40 tag. This is the SD40 for anyone else. I've deleted that one now. I suppose without the reference board and the Google showing up, yes, this is the SD40. So if you want to see any reference, please go ahead. But if you don't want to look at any reference, that's fine by me, because it won't look like this. Let's squish this a bit. And let's grab this. So we want to make a couple of these nice cube shapes along the rail. It's hard to see sometimes where you're actually moving in 3D. Do you have any clue on whether or not we'll be getting a miniature Wonderland DLC with a Pacer model in DB Traffic Red livery? I don't have any idea on that. I don't believe so. I struggle at livery creator. I have tried livery creator and I love all things creative, but yeah, I struggled a little bit at first. I've had some fun trying to make a bit of a Art Deco themed livery. Okay, let's put one more of them. I think this one was here. Okay, that's not that bad. It's not great. I think we know that now. It's not fantastic, but it's not that bad. And I think I'm gonna have to take a not that bad as a oh no, I can't miss that. That's like a really iconic like little tube thing. Are we kind of agreeing with me here? It's not the worst. Like, it's certainly not the best, but it'll do, right? Do you remember that strut helps? That strut helps take stress off the axle when bouncing and moving around. That's good to know. I mean, in this model, it's not connected to anything, and it's certainly wired up wrong. But that's pretty cool. Okay, let's get this thing in, and let's push another one in front of it. This actually sits. Oh, this side's actually a little bit lower. Let's take this side just a bit down. I think there's a bit more to it in this area. And then another tube cylinder thing to go in there. And the fun thing with making cylinders do corners in a 3D modeling program is that it's really, really hard. Oh my god, not like that. It's really, really difficult. So you can extrude a face, and then you gotta like curve it a little bit, and you can extrude it again, and then curve it a little bit, and then you can extrude it again. And that was pretty poor, but it will do. There are tools you can do to tools and things you can do to make that faster, but take the same time. That's not bad. Okay, I'm gonna call the wheel portion of this modeling section. That's oh, there's another one of these. I'm just gonna Oh, that's also floating much further along than I wanted it to. Okay, I'm gonna merge and then duplicate and then spin. Okay. And I've just realized that because this is no longer mirrored, let's quickly re-mirror you, because we edited one side. I think it was the z-axis on the bounding box, positive direction, merge border. Fantastic. There we go. We have wheels. Okay, I'm gonna just merge it all. It must be fine. What color are the wheels? We're gonna go with a very dark gray. Oh no, I shouldn't have merged it all. What have I done? Okay, so not everything was softened, so we're gonna just group it all instead. And there we go. We have wheel group, wheel 1. Fantastic. David, what got you interested in 3D modeling? So I've previously graduated as a game artist. So I've got my 3D model interest from there, and what started me on that path was simply just I wanted to do game dev stuff. I mean, I've always been interested in games, and so getting a chance to like do the more often has always excited me. But that's kind of where I started, and I thought 3D modeling is kind of a way of doing game dev and kind of incorporating more mathematical based kind of reasoning and formula into it in a way that I personally find very enjoyable. So that's why, pretty much. Oh, I don't like how soft that cylinder is. Let's just give you a little couple cuts. Are you happy now? It's gonna just add a cut there. Okay, that's not too bad. And again, quickly on this side, it gets very technical, but maybe I think that's what I enjoy. Right, can we smooth all this, and does it look fine? That does look fine. Then we can group it. We have wheels. It wasn't that bad. We made it. Let's add a new material. It's gonna be a darker gray for the wheels. That'll do. Right. How do we fit this in? So we have a set of these wheels. Now obviously they're massive compared to the train. I mean, it would be crazy if like, I think this is kind of what you see in like toy trains when you're really young. Let's turn off this grid for a minute. You get like this train. It's just got like massive wheels, so you can kind of like you know, play with it and play around. My mother is watching the stream. Well, very good. Lambert 5 has been born. Oh, I was meant to rename that. It's Wheel Grey. Message deleted. Favorite brand of chips, Alex? Chips. Do you mean chips as in crisps or chips as in chips? Are you from the US? Chips, I would go McCain. Crisps, because I'm from the UK, I would go Pringles, I suppose. I don't say that because we were sponsored by Pringles though. Two different separate events. Okay, let's stick the wheels into our model. So they should sit how far across? So they should just about get to the front and probably to about there. I think the scale of that's reasonable. It's believable. And then we have another set that go here, and then this back piece needs to continue across. Now we've got no cuts on the back of this model. That's not a good sign. That tells me that something has gone wrong. Oh no. Right, delete the back. More of that cursed geometry. It must be. So we need to unselect all of this stuff at the top and unselect stuff. Oh no. There is definitely a lot of cursed modeling happening here. Okay. We are going to do a bit of patchwork and pretend it's not a problem when it really is. But it's not that big a deal. It's fine. Again, this is not optimized for the game. That's okay. We want yellow, and we're gonna pull this back a bit. How far back? Quite a bit back. Okay. Now that's not looking so bad. For, well, time's almost hitting now. So we've got a middle section that goes between these wheels. It's kind of like a I would hope it's some kind of reservoir. My guess is it's some kind of like oil, possibly pressure reservoir. but I would like to know more on what that is. I'm actually going to scale the wheels a little in. I'm going to push these to the back. You're excellent at demonstrating what you called a secret issue earlier on. Well, thank you very much. But yeah, there's a lot of things. I think F Block, you're also familiar with 3D modeling. There are many things that go wrong with 3D modeling. Okay, let's shift this to the side. So we've got a funny little reservoir that we wanna model in here. Let's extend this up, push that in. It's quite a unique shape, so we want to make sure that the edges look quite nice. That's looking pretty horrible at the moment, but in time it will look nice. And it's this thing. I hope this is familiar to you because it is completely foreign to me. It's kind of this shape. I'm gonna pull this down a bit. I'm guessing it's mirrored internally, so I'm gonna just leave the back open because I'll probably mirror it. And that's not looking exactly what I want. I want to be able to have it smooth and look good, so maybe let's just throw a bevel on this corner, and then let's throw on a couple of little cuts on the end. That's not bad. I'll take that. And let's mirror this on the bounding box on the positive direction. Haha, it's probably a bit wide. Okay, I'll take that. Yes, the Alex Rail SD40-2. I like that. I want to see if I can put that on the side of the locomotive. That's where I keep my special sauce, says Mr. Shiba. Well, there's a lot of it, if that's where you really keep it. It depends if it's for. It's for luggage. I wouldn't want to put my luggage in there. I don't know if it's coming out. That's the problem with that. There's a little cube in there. Okay, we have another cylinder that sits kind of just above it. So we like cylinders. They are easy to model. I think, see, this is the thing. I think modeling like a locomotive like this, there are a lot of details that if you miss, obviously it's a big deal. But it's very geometric, which makes it quite enjoyable to model. Now this kind of sits a little bit in the mesh. Now obviously that it shouldn't really do that, but this is a bit lower as well. Possibly, is it really that low? And well, it really is very low to the rail. Maybe if I make this a bit smaller, push it up, push it in, and I want to push this this face. Yeah, I think I want to push this face out a bit. Oh no, I don't want to do that. I think I want to push this edge out. Okay. The 3-minute face. I'll heat up the katsu. Yes. Let's get this to. Is this the same gray? Did we name our gray? I think we did. We named it wheel gray, even though that's not a wheel. Okay. Now we have the bottom of our locomotive modeled in. Now there's probably something else that I could put there. There's a couple cylinders that I'll just duplicate across, and then we'll mirror it for the other side. Fantastic. I think this kind of sticks into the. I don't think this actually is meant to carry special sauce. I don't really know what its true purpose is, but for now, with my knowledge, this is the special sauce inlet. And let's extend that. Is there a second one of those that isn't? But there is a fun little pipe that runs along. So let's just make that. And it kind of doesn't go over there, so I'm just gonna let it. It curves round. Oh, another pipe with a curve. Well, why don't we steal the pipe with a curve that we've made over here? How do we do that? Well, we duplicate the whole thing. We isolate the pipe with the curve and we delete everything else. Fantastic. Okay, let's pull it down that way and pull it across. Amazing. I'll pay £373 for it. See, that sounds like a very specific number. No, this isn't worthy of any money. Let's move this out of the way. I think this is meant to come, yeah, this is meant to come forward of that pipe, so let's push this pipe this way then. Okay, now that's not bad. Let's grab all of this that we've just made on the side. Is this all smooth? You aren't smooth. I need to smooth you. I don't want you deforming. Are you smooth? Let me stick a loop there, stick a loop here. That will hold. Let's grab everything we've made and join it together. That's the button. Right. And we should just be able to mirror based on the world axis. And there we have it. We have wheels. Because it's fun and off the cuff, very reminiscent of the Sam streams. Well, I hope you have enjoyed this. Obviously, I see we've recently just ticked over 8 o'clock. I do want to make sure the front of the train has a few rails though, so I'll stream for a couple extra minutes. But I'm glad you enjoyed it. I wouldn't mind doing more of these streams if we keep them more community focused, because I think that's the one thing that we have been, we've probably been missing, I think. Oh, I can't miss the horns. Let's, okay, we'll make a few horns, we'll make a few adjustments to the front. Let's get on there and make a fun little horn. Okay, how do we make a quick horn? I'm guessing we squeeze this side in. That'll do. Push it out. And that's a horn. That looks like a horn to me. It's very interesting and enjoyable. Well, I mean, if it is the kind of stream that you guys would enjoy to see, then I would be happy doing more of this kind of content. Because, I mean, I prefer being more realistic, and I think I can kind of talk and enjoy the content more when it's more relaxing. I think I usually am more pressured to make sure I'm not crashing the train when I'm playing the game. But then that just comes with experience. Okay, instead of making some fancy thing that holds all these horns together, we're gonna go with the old cube. Well, more like a rectangle thing. All right, that'll do. That's a horn. They can come in wheel gray. That's the color they come in. Wheel gray. It's really just any gray, but wheel gray is the variant. We have horns. Ta-da! How many remembered to enter the giveaway? Well, let's make sure more remember. We have a giveaway which I've closed. Let's open it back up. Blue Monday giveaway. We have a giveaway. It's ended. So let me see if I can actually possibly reopen this. If not, anyone who's currently entered the giveaway, I will draw that after the stream is ended, and I will contact you separately. Let's see, Blue Monday giveaway. Is there any chance I can open it just before the stream ends? There might be. Can we save that? Does that change anything? Haha, we have minutes left. Okay, brilliant. Let me, I've just realized that if the giveaway isn't showing up, then neither would the giveaway. Here we go. Okay, 4 minutes left. Right, there's a link that we will post in the YouTube chat if the mods haven't already been posting it. There is one in YouTube and here's one in Twitch. It's a giveaway. So if you win, you can have any DLC of your choice. Released content only. Nothing that's been announced. You can't just be like, I want my DLC in a month. You gotta have it now. I will contact you after the stream's ended. So if you are a winner, and I'll draw the winners and find that out later tonight. And I'll probably send you the keys tomorrow, because if there's anything that we don't have on stock, then I'll have to request it. So I'll let you know if you're a winner. But there's only 3 minutes left. So join this giveaway, and if you win, then it's just it's a key. There'll be 2 winners. Let me actually edit that to make sure that that's set up correctly. But yes, there will be 2 winners. We're just giving away a couple keys, and again, that's mostly just because it's Blue Monday. You know, we know life is tough, but obviously, if this is one of the tougher days of the year, let's help you get through it. Can you see how many have entered? I can, and it's a few. I won't give away the number because I don't want you to feel like you're worth less for entering based on that. So it's a few. So join if you feel like you want to roll the dice and see if you win. I mean, it's free. well, you've got to surrender your email. But yeah, join our giveaway. There's a couple links in the chat. If you can't see the link, scroll up a little bit in the chat and it will be there. I have the Blue Monday song in my head. I don't know what that is. You're a very wise man. Well, thank you. Hi, Joe. Okay, back to streaming. I've just made the entire screen go black because I've just closed my Chrome instead of switching to Maya. That's the Chrome. Where's Maya gone? Autodesk. Here we are. Sorry for that. It's all back. So this is our locomotive so far. I want some rails. We added some horns. A couple minutes to go. Maybe, how about this then? Maybe we come back to this locomotive. Maybe we give it the revisit, and we spend a few community streams just building this up slowly, and maybe who knows, one day it might even be game ready. We could, but Train Sim World already has this loco. Well, perhaps we can even do a community suggestion for a different locomotive that we can work on together. That might be fun. What do we think about that? Good night, Nigel. Any more streams this week? We have a Train Sim Classic stream with Jamie previewing the Amtrak PD40 on Wednesday. Train Sim World, no, this is the only stream this week. We will be busy in upcoming weeks, so be on the lookout. There is a lot of streaming content to come. So we're just going to make a pretty simple handrail here. That should come out a little bit more. Now, how does that angle work? I think it curves in a little bit. So we'll make that curve in. Just gonna pull you this little face in a bit, and then I suppose that's when it starts kind of curving down. That's quite a weird turn for a handrail, but I hope when we smooth that out, that'll look okay. It probably won't. I probably will need to edit that. Let's see. It's gone straight for a bit, and then we want it to go diagonal, and then we want it to plateau. So now the reason that doesn't look right is because it needs to come across. So we'll probably pull that there, and we'll probably pull it to there. Pull it out a little more. I'll possibly just kind of shift this to about there. Now this is supposed to curve in, so let's make sure that does. But yeah, I would really like to do more community focused streams. It doesn't have to be modeling, but it can be just kind of not necessarily gameplay, or it can be in the game, just things that are fun. Content that people would like to see. Let's make this rail yellow. Now that's not too bad. That's not bad. Is this a rail percent speedrun? It certainly is. What does that look like smooth? Now that looks a little too funky to be smooth, so we're just going to keep it a little jagged. Let's mirror that. There you go. Look, we've already made the other one. And now we just need one that kind of curves through the middle. So let's grab a new cylinder. I want to make sure it's the same thickness, so I'm just going to use this as a base. Delete all this. Okay, we've got our cylinder. What have we got here? So we need to mirror that. I'll probably just duplicate this across for the base as well. So let's just start with that. That should be a good start, surely. I'll possibly delete that as well. Merge these two. Pull this over here. Okay, it's not looking too bad. Are you a face? Yes. Are you a face? No. Well, that's a problem. Again, there's so many there's so many fun things with 3D modeling that you have to learn. You can't merge a face with something that isn't a face. You have to make sure neither of them are faces. And then when you do merge them, your yellow becomes green. Why would that be? Well, because green is a color of something that has gone wrong. But we won't diagnose that. It's okay. We'll just pretend it isn't green. That's usually the best thing to do when trying to work in modeling quite quickly. You just ignore the errors that inevitably come up. Now I want this to be a little higher, so I'm going to just pull this up. And, well, I'm really not happy with this being green. Is there nothing we can do about that? Let's see. Grab this edge. I cannot unsee it now. Maybe a desk. I love the idea. How many years have you been with Dovetail Games? I've only been with Dovetail for about 6 months or so. So not a year yet. No, I only started in June time, just around Spirit of Steam launch. Okay, how are we looking on this? Well, we need a beam that goes down, but this beam isn't a cylinder, it's a square. It's a grey square. I'll make sure if we do these kind of streams again, you guys can see the reference. But I mean, hey, the model's actually not looking too bad. So we're gonna mirror this onto the other side. Okay, I'm gonna drag this over there. Does a little bit stick through? Yeah, it does. It always does a little bit. And this is probably, I'm just gonna merge that for now. Probably a little over. I mean, that's not too bad. There's no windows. That's fine. I suppose we can just throw in a cube to imply windows. Let's thin that. Make it a little longer. Can we give that a bit of a bevel? Yeah, certainly. Oh no, we brought back the weird pigeon shape. Let's put this a little bit up here, and move the other one to there. Okay. It's probably more like, it comes a little closer than that, I think. Is it quite as long? No, I'm not happy with this shape. Let's just start that over again. Oh, those are some really funky looking windows. Now, obviously they're not holes, they're sticking out, but they're meant to imply that there's a window there. All right, let's save that as the Alex. What was it? What was the name of the Alex Rail? Isn't it Alex Rail SD40-2? Do you remember? Only 6 months. Curious what you did before Dovetail Games. I worked at a company that helped game students find jobs, and funnily enough, I found a job. So I guess that's pretty good. Looks really good for the short amount of time. I hope this possibly gives. I'm certainly not professional anyway. But I hope this gives a little bit of insight into how long it can take to do things. This model is completely unusable because it's too, well, you can already see there's a little bit of weirdness here, but it's too bad basically. But that's what an hour gets you. And if I was trying to actually make this ready for a game, like actually including in a game, I'd probably spend that whole hour probably just on this wheel and this section here, measuring the size of the wheel exactly as it should be, making sure I understand the engineering of the wheel and all that comes with it. I can't say I'm happy with this too much, but I am happy with the stream. It was fun. Well done. Nice Z fighting. Yeah, you know the term. Okay, London Spark or Lundo Spark. You're probably hurting internally from seeing me model the rest of this. Move closer to the 2F variant. Okay, great job. Well, thank you very much. It's been a really nice stream. Nice. Thumbs up for joining Dovetail Games. Dovetail are actually really incredible. Teams here are really lovely. I know it from programming. Oh, okay, fair enough. It's better than what I would be able to do, Alex. Well, who knows? Maybe you can try it along with me next time. That needs to go in a training center. There is. I mean, I wonder if I could sneak it somewhere as an Easter egg. Who knows? We might come back to this. I might even do this in my own time. But for now, that's probably gonna wrap the stream up. I'll tell you what, there is, if none of you saw it, because of the Christmas stuff, we did get an Easter egg in the training center. A little spoiler, if you wanna hide the spoiler, quickly mute the stream. I'll give you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We crashed an elf into a tree. An elf stole a Jeep loaded with the presents, and it crashed into a tree. That was an idea that me and Elliot had, and we put it to Adam, and someone on the artist team managed to build the scene. I don't know if you have seen that, but if you haven't, it's really cool. But we'll do some more Easter eggs at some point. Ask Adam if you can sneak it in. Yeah, I'll see if I can pull a favor, but this thing is horrible. Okay, I'm going to call it there. I'm going to draw the giveaway. I'll draw it tonight. I'll let the winners know tonight, but I'll sort about the keys tomorrow. And for everyone that joined me on the stream, thank you very much. I've appreciated the time, and it's been fun to talk to you all. Have a good day. I know it's Blue Monday, but hey, we can have fun even on the most depressing day of the year. Isn't that right? Thanks for the stream, everyone, and I will. I'll see you around the community if you're there. Bye bye. I've got to find the stop streaming button.